Okay, so let's just dive right in. We're living through two of the biggest tech revolutions ever, and they're happening at the exact same time: AI and crypto. For the longest time, these two worlds were on completely separate tracks, just doing their own thing. But now they're starting to crash into each other. And the result? Well, it's probably going to change everything.
So let's break this down super simply. You can think of AI as giving machines a brain, the ability to think, to learn, to make decisions. And then you have crypto, which is basically giving the internet its own bank account, a way to move value around the globe without having to ask anyone for permission. For years, the AI people were over here and the crypto people were over there. But now, and this is the kicker, they're realizing that each one holds the key to unlocking the other's true potential.
And this right here, this is the whole point. This is the core idea. You see, AI, for all its smarts, can't really do anything on its own in the real world, especially when money's involved. And crypto? Well, let's be honest, for all its power, it's often way too complicated for most people to actually use. So what we're seeing is these two technologies becoming, well, symbiotic. They literally fix each other's biggest problems.
All right, so let's tackle the first big problem here, what we'll call the autonomy problem. We've built these incredibly brilliant AI systems, but they can't actually do stuff in the real economy by themselves. They're like geniuses locked in a box. I mean, just think about this for a second. Your AI assistant can scan every single airline on the planet in a heartbeat to find you the absolute best flight deal. Amazing, right? But then, when it comes time to actually buy the ticket, it just slams into a brick wall. It has to come back to you, the human, and ask for a credit card. Why? Because it can't just, open a bank account. It has no financial identity of its own. It's just a tool, not an actor.
And this is where that huge shift happens. In the old world, the bot is basically your intern. It does the research and brings it back to you. But in what we could call the crypto web, check this out. You can give that bot its very own digital wallet and its own budget. And all of a sudden, it's not an intern anymore. It's an agent. It can find the flight, it can pay for the flight, and it can do it all on its own. That's a massive transformation.
So why is crypto the magic key here? Well, it really boils down to three incredible things. First, it's permissionless. A bank would totally freak out and probably shut down an account that's making thousands of tiny transactions every minute. But the blockchain? It just doesn't care. Second, it's borderless. An AI in one country can pay for a service in another with zero friction. And finally, and this is a biggie, it's native to the internet. It was built from the ground up to be money for machines.
Okay, moving on to problem number 2, and this one's a monster. The power problem. AI is just insatiable. It's a beast that devours two things: tons of data and an absolutely insane amount of computing power. So the big question is, who's going to provide all that fuel?
Look, right now, if you want to play in the big leagues of AI, you have to go hat in hand to one of a handful of companies: Amazon, Google, Microsoft. They are the gatekeepers. They control pretty much all the high-end computing, and that's a huge problem. Not just because it's crazy expensive, but because they hold all the cards. They get to decide who gets to build the next big thing. What if you can't afford their prices? Or what if they just don't like what you're building? So what's the solution from the crypto side of the fence? It's this really cool idea called DePIN. It stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure. And the analogy here is just perfect. Think of it as the Airbnb of compute. It's all about creating a massive, open marketplace for computing power by tapping into all the unused hardware that's just sitting around out there. And the difference in cost is just, wow, it's not even close. By plugging into this global network of hardware that's usually just sitting idle, DePIN networks can offer the same kind of computing power for as much as 80% less. 80%? That's insane. This isn't just tweaking the numbers, it's completely flipping the table on the cost of building AI.
So to sum it up, this is the DPIN advantage. First, it's just way, way cheaper because it's using all those powerful gaming PCs and crypto rigs that are just collecting dust. Second, and this is huge, nobody can pull the plug on you. No single company can censor you or deny you access. And third, it's just smart. It takes all this wasted power and, with a crypto incentive, turns it into this incredibly valuable global resource.
Okay, so we've solved autonomy, we've solved power, but AI opens up this other, very human can of worms, the truth problem. In a world where AI can generate anything, how do we know what's actually real anymore? And I'm not talking about some far-off future. This is happening right now. Imagine you're scrolling on your phone and you see a video. It looks real, it sounds real, and it's showing a world leader declaring war. How can you possibly know for sure if it's real or if it's a deepfake designed to cause absolute chaos? The stakes are just immense.
And you guessed it, crypto has an answer for this too. It all comes down to what a blockchain does best, being unchangeable and totally transparent. I love this analogy. The best way to think about it is that the blockchain can act as a notary public for the entire internet. The way this works is through something called a certificate of origin. It's basically a digital birth certificate for any piece of content, a photo, a video, anything. Once that certificate, that digital fingerprint, is logged on the blockchain, it's locked in forever. It proves exactly when, where, and with what device that thing was created, and that it hasn't been messed with since. It's actually pretty straightforward. 3 simple steps. Step 1. The camera itself has a special key, and it signs the photo the instant it's taken. Step 2. That unique signature gets blasted onto the blockchain. And then step 3. From that moment on, anybody, you, me, anyone in the world, can check that signature against the blockchain and verify that it's the real deal. It creates a perfect, unbreakable chain of custody for truth. All right, so let's just zoom out for a second and put all these pieces together. We've got AIs that can pay their own bills, a global decentralized computer to run them on, and a system to make sure they're interacting with real information. So what does this new machine economy actually look and feel like when it's all working? This example really brings it home. Just imagine, your self-driving car is getting low on juice. It doesn't bother you. It finds the nearest charging station, talks to it, they haggle over the price of electricity for a split second, and then it pays. All machine to machine. No humans needed. And here's the other side of that coin, the really cool part for the rest of us. The AI handles all the complicated crypto stuff in the background. You don't see it, you don't need a special wallet, it just happens. That is how AI makes crypto usable for everyone. And this all leads to one final kind of mind-blowing thought. We always think of economic players as people, right? Or maybe companies run by people. But in a world where a piece of software can own its own wallet, earn its own money, and spend it, what's to stop that software from getting rich? Seriously, the next millionaire? It might not be a human at all. It might just be code.